Welcome back to the Deep Digger Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host, right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to drop some comments below. Let us know your thoughts. And be sure to subscribe. We're almost at 500, so hit that subscribe button. You could be our 500 subscriber.
500.
Yeah,
Yeah,
isn't that?
that's
Yeah, that's it.
grammatically correct. Yeah,
That is.
I went to
Yeah,
college. Uh,
I dropped out. So
breaking news because a second transfer has hit the portal. UNLV started this week with high hopes, 3-0, a ranked team. Actually, their schedule looked great for them to go to the playoffs. Mathew Sluka is saying he's hitting the transfer portal over NIL money disputes. And yesterday, I believe a second UNLV player is saying he's going to transfer out and use that redshirt year, not for money reasons.
so Michael Allen specifically has said it is not because of NIL. It is because of opportunities on the fields. But who's to say how true that actually is? But the first one, Mathew Sluka from Holy Cross, is 100% about NIL.
Yeah, so it's weird because at first everyone's shitting on this kid. Everyone's saying you're selfish, you're just trying to get more money. And I feel like the team kind of leaked to certain reporters online that he went in and tried to demand more money. But as we've seen, more reports have come out saying actually he was promised 100K. He only got 3K to move over there and hasn't seen a dime since. But that's kind of the world we're living in with this NIL. This hasn't isn't the first time someone's been promised something and hasn't been fulfilled. What do you think of this whole UNLV situation and what it means for the rest of the landscape?
I mean, this is going to continue to happen unless there are guidelines set into place. But I mean, we've seen it even as recent as like last week. Georgia has come in, like the state of Georgia itself has come in and been like, "Hey, NCAA, none of your rules for NIL apply to us. Don't worry, we'll handle ourselves." And it's like, okay, but we've seen this song and dance before. It's going to get more and more muddy as we start to go into like the new era of NIL. And I mean, we're already seeing, I think one of the big recruits 2 years ago is already suing Florida State because Florida State didn't pay them the money that they were supposed to do. And instead they're like, okay, well, you haven't paid me. I'm going to go ahead and transfer. And then Florida State was like, okay, well, we're not paying you anything then. And so it's like, well, you can't do that because you promised me money. And the same thing that goes here, like, it's very interesting to see the narrative that was spun immediately after Mathew Sluka announces that he will be taking a redshirt year, that he is, hey, you know what? I'm done for the year. I'm going to transfer out of here. And immediately it was, oh, this guy is NIL because he wanted more money, because NIL, because this, he's super selfish. Good riddance to him. The UNLV fans are still out there trashing this guy and then it turns out that he just wants the money that he was promised. He's only seen 3,000 of the 100K. And now supposedly the NIL fund, Friends with UNLV, I think that's what it's called, is come out and saying, we had nothing to do with this. We did not know. We did not or enter into an agreement with Mathew Sluka, both written or verbal. And so it's like, okay, well, then who did it? Like, who did it? Was it the coaching staff?
It
Because
was
if the coaching staff.
the assistant coach apparently told him, "Yeah, we give you 100,000." And that's where it's getting weird because there's no accountability when a coach does that. There's no honestly they're saying there's not supposed to be enticement with money to recruit these kids. So coaches aren't even supposed to be like, "Yeah, we'll give you X amount of dollars. Come play for us," which is not real in this current world of recruiting. Obviously, they're going to talk money. Obviously, you're going to tell a five-star recruit, "Oh yeah, we'll give you $800,000 to come to SEC." Like that's just part of it now, but it's not supposed to be part of the rules, and that's why there's verbal agreements, and that's why coaches are just using it to not pay the players and just get them there. And I don't know how much this is on coaching staff where maybe they were saying, "Yeah, just tell these kids whatever we need to get them here." What are they going to do? Walk away from an undefeated season and a chance at the playoffs? Mathew Sluka said, "Yeah, fuck you, I'm gonna do that," because it's a great opportunity, yeah, for Sluka, but also he's not going to the NFL. This is
Yeah,
his
this is
payday.
it.
This is his giant payday. So, I mean, I'm not too upset for him to try to work this out.
No, if anything, what you should be doing is you should be mad at the program. Like, there's no reason that you should be shitting on Mathew Sluka because Mathew Sluka is a slighted employee now. Like now, like if you were to go to work and not get a paycheck, you'd be pissed. Like, what is going on here? I remember one time I got my paycheck got delayed like 2, 3 days. And I didn't do shit for 5 days. It was like, yo, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. So I understand where he's coming from. Like, if I'm not getting the money that I was entitled to, no, I'm not doing this. And so that's on the program, that's on the coaching staff, that's on the this NIL collective that doesn't want to take any accountability whatsoever for what they're doing. Like this is bullshit and that's going to have to stop moving forward. But I don't know how the NCAA is going to put guardrails and guidelines up because we've already seen they were running through that even before NIL was a thing. People were paying people out of brown paper bags, and now we just kind of moved it to a different way of okay, well, we're gonna sidetrack it. You're coming to our university because it's a good fit for you, quote unquote. It's a good fit for you academically, um, and both on the field. And hey, there is some opportunity to make money with your name, image, and likeness, and we've seen that already been guardrailed. Like that guardrail's gone. Penny Hardaway is already getting fucking. You can't even jump through those hoops and pretend like you're doing it the right way. That's fucking ridiculous. And now we're seeing it here with UNLV, where it's coming back to bite them in the ass, and it should hurt their recruiting. It should hurt. Like it should be a red flag to everybody that was even thinking about going to that program. These guys do not hold their word.
But the thing
They
is, it's happening everywhere. And it's a bigger picture of what's wrong with NIL right now, which I think NIL is a great thing. They need to get paid. They're professionals already, and the colleges are making millions and maybe billions of dollars off their back. So what's going on right now is a lawsuit for NIL back pay with Reggie Bush, Denard Robinson, Braylon Edwards, and a bunch of other big names where I'm reading right now on NBC Los Angeles 3 days ago. It says a settlement agreement is in place to pay 2.78 billion to hundreds of thousands of college athletes, and that's former college athletes trying to get that NIL back pay, saying it wasn't fair how much money the NCAA made off of them. So maybe this could be the start of putting some kind of agreement in place, a collective bargaining agreement, because they need to put all the cards on the table to see what people are getting paid in order to make some kind of collective bargaining. And that's where a lot of people are like, well, we don't want to share the details and show how much we're paying like Cam Ward exactly. We don't want to share how much we're paying so and so exactly. So the teams need to just straight up be like, all right, this is what we're doing so we can regulate it.
Yeah, but what they want to do is keep everybody in the dark because if Cam Ward got X amount of contract, the next huge transfer is going to want more than what Cam Ward got the next year because, hey, I'm better, or now the price has gone up, inflation, I'm doing this. You know what I mean? So they want to keep everybody in the dark. They want to make sure that there is not pay transparency among these players so that they can just feed them shit. And I mean, you're just getting to the point where NIL is just getting so shady, where these collectives, and even then, why are we using collectives? You make so much fucking money off of your TV deals. There's no reason that you should be going to a third party. That's, I think, where we're getting like things like the DJU going to Florida State, and he has to keep playing because I'm pretty sure someone else was like, "Hey, well, I paid for DJU to come here. I paid him $3 million or whatever he was supposed to get. I'm gonna see my profit, or I'm gonna see my commitment seen through. You're gonna start him for the rest of this year." And Dave Portnoy has already come out and said, I will pay $3 million to Michigan if they go out and get the best quarterback in the transfer portal. That's what I will do. But they need to go out and get the best. And so like guys are get boosters are coming out and being like, I will do this, but you need to go out and get my guy. And so like we're so muddying the waters with the way that we're doing NIL currently. It's ridiculous.
I mean, this is how it's always been done, though. Boosters giving money and under the table, though, getting the best players with money. And not every player was in that situation, but it happened before in the past. The only difference is like now Dave Portnoy can flash it like that. Now other teams can flash the money like that and entice all these transfers out. And that's where you're kind of getting this weird situation where, oh, players are getting bought for top dollar to go to random schools and we can't control it.
The thing with that is like, yeah, it was sort of that way before, but at least if you're the university, like Michigan, if Dave Portnoy gives you $3 million, hey Dave, you know what? Actually, that went to us building a weight room, us doing this. Now it is towards a five-star quarterback that Dave wants. And Dave's going to continue to fund this if Dave wants to keep Michigan winning, right? Well, what happens if something happens like week 10 and Dave's quarterback ends up sucking ass and we have to replace him with Alex Orgy? Dave's going to be pissed. And so now does that affect the coaching changes? Does that affect the game plan of how we're going to play this season? Like do just to keep these boosters happy? So I think it's a slippery slope as far as what we're doing with NIL currently. And even then, no one is making sure that these promises are actually being kept. And that's what we're seeing here with this Mathew Sluka thing. No one was in there like, hey, look, we need a guy that is like checking the payroll and making sure that Mathew Sluka is getting what we promised him because we're gonna lose our quarterback. And realistically, what UNLV should have did was just pay him what he like what so it didn't come out of nowhere because there were reports coming out that Mathew Sluka was saying 100K before the season even started. So that number just didn't pop up out of nowhere. It came from a conversation with someone there at that school, and so someone made that promise to him.
And here's the thing is yeah, maybe you're like, oh, it's only 100,000 for a year worth of work, which is like getting a career salary basically. Uh
That's a lot of money for a lot of people around this country. That's a lot of
yeah,
money for Mathew Sluka to start his life.
yeah, but what I'm saying is it's bigger than that because Sluka not playing the rest of the year just affected hundreds of careers in college football, like the coaching staff, the teammates around him, the opponents. Like it,
Mhm.
it has a ripple effect a lot bigger than $100,000 because say UNLV did go undefeated and go to the playoffs. You know what? That head coach, he puts that on a resume. He could go to a bigger college.
Well, yeah, he was already at a Power 5 school. He was coached at Missouri. He was hoping to get back to a Power 5 school. And even then, the UNLV offensive coordinator created this go-go offense. If they look good and they continue to win out and go undefeated, that's a notch on his belt. He could get a head coaching job. These guys that are looking good around Mathew Sluka could get looks at
NFL
bigger
scouts
schools
in the
and bigger
playoffs.
NIL deals. Yeah. Yeah, and that second one, Michael Allen, I think that goes more to show you what type of program UNLV is. Like, if he was thinking that he was going to get more opportunity, like that's just a word thing. Like, you told him one thing and you made promises that he was going to get on the field experience, and then you just didn't hold true to your word. You know what I mean? And we see that's something that happens in college, but this just on top of the Matthew Sluka thing, it's just a bad look for UNLV.
Yeah. Well, you guys let us know what you think in the comments. It's a crazy situation, has a big effect on the rest of the nation. So, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
All right, later.